A lot of people on YouTube will talk about, this is my testing strategy, but they won't kind of show it in action. So that's what I'm doing. This is an active test that I'm running right now. It's performing very, very well. I mean, July 17th within itself, the first day we were running it, 7% conversion rate. You're not going to get a 7% conversion rate from not understanding what you're doing. It has to be intentional. So start using the breakdowns, identify where your money's being bled, refer to a couple SOPs like this, and you'll be good. Stop running ripped creatives and expecting a profit. You have to be smart. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. This video will make you money if you pay attention. It is a little bit advanced, but you guys were asking for this. This is, in my opinion, the perfect test for meta. Now, this is a refresh test in a sense. I had a supplement that I was running that was kind of falling off, and I completely revived it in this top campaign here. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did that in this video. Now, this is the past 30 days. However, technically, all of the conversions, which equated to about $1,300 in revenue in 3 days, which is not bad for a test. Real quick, let me refresh this. Cool, I'll spam refresh this. All right, all took place between July 17th and 19th. The only reason I have it set to the last 30 days is just so you guys can see this hook test, which I'm going to explain in just a second. Throughout this video, I'm going to be flashing multiple SOPs that I created, like this one, and this one. These are all SOPs that I am authoring myself because, drum roll, I am writing a book. This is a little sneak peek, nothing crazy, but it is essentially going to be 10 chapters. This is 2 chapters, all with full drop downs. Completely authored by me, no AI slop at all with full checkboxes. That's all I'm going to show for now, but I am writing a book. I'm very excited about it. It is going to be a play-by-play for ecom. I'm super hyped. It's going to take me a while, but if you want to join the waitlist to get notified when the book releases, click the first link in the description to sign up. So let's start breaking down these campaigns. Now, first off, I want to show you guys day 1 of the test. It was truly something to be in awe at. So day 1 of the test, I spent $167. Let's head into this specifically. Now, I'm probably going to have to do some blurring because I don't want to leak this product at all, but if you avert your eyes towards the bottom, you will see for this day the profitable ad group. Now, inside of this profitable ad group, I have to show you guys this because it's truly incredible. I sustained a $355 CPP and a $799 CPP throughout $17.55. This was absolutely incredible. My CTRs were almost 10%. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how is that possible? This wasn't on accident. It was very, very, very purposeful, and I'm going to show you guys how right now. So, how did this work? Let me explain. Basically, let me go actually real quick. The last 30 days, what I've began doing, due to my good friend Andres kind of putting me onto this tip, is a hook test. This is applicable to quite literally anything you're selling. Any product, anything, doesn't matter. A hook test preemptively ran before any other actual creative you're going to run is almost a guaranteed way to get good engagement off rip. A hook test is very, very, very simple. It's going to be a campaign that spends around $20 depending on the amount of hooks you test. You can test up to 50 if you want. I personally did 10, or I guess 9. I did 9. These are quite literally hooks you just type out on a blank white screen. No visuals, nothing, just a hook that you upload into an ABO campaign. You can set the budgets at whatever you'd like because they're only going to spend around $2 each. Now, I let these spend $2 to $3, and one of them actually pulled a purchase, which is really funny. That's not supposed to happen, but I guess it was a very, very good hook. And then you check out the link click-through rate. Now, any link click-through rate that is above, and this is kind of where the rules are tentative, I like anything above 7% is qualified to get graduated into a real ad. So I took every single hook that got above a 7% CTR, and then I turned that into a real ad. So in this case, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hooks. I turned those into 6 different ads, and I think I only ended up running 5 of those. But I took those hooks, turned them into ads, and funny enough, I wish I could show you guys the hooks, but I can't or else it would leak the product. They're all very, very similar. It is a hook that has worked for me very, very well in the past, and I just kind of reiterated it and made it different, slightly, just changed a couple words for these newer ads. But step 1, this hook campaign. This hook campaign is crucial, and I've begun advising everybody to do it because there's no reason not to. It's like 20 bucks, and it will tell you, or at least give you a very good guess on where your CTRs are going to lie on your actual creatives. So step 1, hook test. After that hook test was done, I ran something very, very simple. I'm going to actually filter, just for effect here, filter this back from 17th to the 19th, literally just 2 days. So what happened here? Very simple. We go in here, multiple ad groups are spending. We have 1, 2, 3 that were extremely profitable. Now, keep in mind my margin on this product is around $30. So that's very important. Obviously, if your margin is $20, you might not want to look for these CPPs, but I do. So what happened? Well, 3 different ad groups here. Set 4, we have set 1, and then we have set 4 profitable dupe. The rest didn't do great. Set 4 copy 2 got turned off. Set 2 got turned off. Set 3 got turned off because the CPC was very, very high. And set 5 got turned off just because the cost per purchase was a little bit too high. But day 1, what happened was very, very simple. Set 4 got incredible metrics. Set 4 spent around $150, and it got a $15 cost per purchase and a $9 cost per purchase throughout these couple days. So what did I do? I let it spend for a couple days, and that established consistency. Once I established consistency, I then duplicated this ad group inside of the same campaign multiple times, twice, because ads fatigue very quickly usually, or they just fall off very, very quickly. I'm sure you guys have been running a campaign before and you spend a lot and it does very, very well, and you try to up the budget and it does very poorly, and then you're down money the next day when the first day was extremely profitable. I feel like that's very, very common, and that's what I use this personal SOP for. But your issue most of the time can be one of two things. One is either it's just a fluke. You had one very good day, but every day after that is bad. It happens. Move on. That's it. Excuse me. The second thing that can happen, and the more likely reason, is you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You keep trying to scale one singular ad group, and your entire day, whether that day is good or bad, is determined by one singular ad, which is highly volatile, especially at a lower budget, and especially when it's only been running for 1 to 3 days. It can change so quickly. It can be night and day, and you're going to be on this roller coaster of profitable and unprofitable. So immediately, once you identify an ad group that is doing well, you have to diversify. Immediately. Diversifying is just a fancy word for making duplicates, making more. And it's very important to understand that your original winner, so this one, might end up not doing great, which eventually this one did fall off a little bit, so I ended up turning it off, and that's okay, because I had the profitable dupe, which I labeled profitable dupe, running, and that is still running, and that is still performing very, very well and very, very consistently. I spent almost $100 more than set 4, whereas this other duplicate that I made didn't perform. $48, 0 sales. That happens. If every single duplicate you made was profitable every single time, it would be too good to be true. Your duplicates are going to be unprofitable or even pull no sales some of the time. You just have to be prepared to turn that off. Very simple. So that's what I ended up doing there. Now, we did make some small budget increases as these performed. Set 4, I did end up scaling up to $80 second day, and I started the duplicates at $80 as well, just to keep them in sync. And one performed and one did not. So I turned this one off, let this one on. Now, this might all seem a little bit too easy, and that's because, based on what I've explained so far, it is. There is another layer to this. Now, as you guys have seen, I've ran multiple campaigns in the past. A lot of these yielded CPAs higher than $30, which weren't great at all. So, how did this one hit it off so quickly, day 1? What happened? What was the night and day difference? These CPAs were not good. These were immediately better. How do you turn your store from unprofitable to profitable immediately? I don't have a magic answer for you, but I can tell you how to do it in the most probable way. And it's by using the breakdown feature. A lot of people don't look at the breakdown feature. Very, very important. You can click breakdown either by age or placement. I suggest you do both. Very easy. Take out paper, pen, or you could open up a Word doc, whatever. Start with age. And this only works if you've ran a test campaign in the past that has spent a considerable amount of money, between $100 plus. You have data already to go off of. I'd be willing to bet, if you have not used the breakdown feature, if you are targeting broad, and even if it's like gender specific, if you're only targeting females but everything else is broad, this still applies to you. I'd be willing to bet, if I were to go into your breakdowns right now, I'd be able to identify multiple points where your spend is leaking, where you're just bleeding money all over the place. In my case, I went through the breakdown of all of these campaigns when they were running, and I identified that Instagram was quite literally bleeding hundreds of dollars. On the surface, these said I had a $40 cost per purchase, $50 cost per purchase, and that seemed bad. But I went into the breakdowns and I noticed that the reason those cost per purchase numbers were so high is because Instagram was weighing those down. I guess you could say weighing them up in a sense. They were skewing them upwards. Whereas if I just isolated the Facebook cost per purchase, it was actually considerably low. So the first change that I made in this new campaign was when it comes to the placements, as you can see here, I made sure it was only targeting Facebook, so little to no money could be bled. Now there's still improvements that I can make here. Let's look into my breakdowns. So my cost per purchase here was $19. Okay, very cool. And it's $19 obviously because it spent considerable amounts of money in Facebook feed and Facebook Reels, 1863, 1814. But why is my cost per purchase not $18 or even lower? Because this one right here, Facebook Marketplace, for some reason, that's a weird placement, got a $7 cost per purchase. Because I'm being weighed down by all these other placements. Now, of course, $4, $3, $1, not a big deal. It's not going to have that much of an effect on my overall cost per purchase. But what can we identify here? $30 spent on Facebook stories with nothing. Look at my cost per click on that isolated placement. It's horrible compared to the rest, which are sub $1 for the most part. This is horrible. So if I had to optimize this campaign again, which I probably will because I just added a subscription option to my site, so I really want to get that building. I want to scale quickly. I would turn off Facebook stories. And as long as your audience size is still broad, then you're good. I did the same thing with ages. With this particular product, I noticed that younger people weren't buying, yet I was spending hundreds of dollars on younger people in the age breakdown. So what did I do? I niched the ages down. As you can see here, I'm only targeting 45 to 65 plus. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Because before it was 18 all the way to 45, and I was spending a lot of money on those ages with zero results. So on top of the hook test, I also did a breakdown kind of analyzation. I did the breakdown by age and placement, and I identified where I was bleeding money. Before you shut your product down, before you decide to stop running a product, please, I'm begging you, if you've at least gotten a couple of conversions, even if your cost per purchase is $70, $80, I guarantee if you were to go into the breakdowns, you can find a place where you were bleeding tons of money and you can just turn that off. That is the closest to a night and day change you're going to get if everything else is in order. Speaking of everything else being in order, I'm going to talk to you guys about the columns that I have, which are created using these presets. Again, if you want these SOPs fully broken down into book form, click the first link in the description, sign up for the book that I'm writing. It's going to probably be done late August, but if you want to get notified when it is done, click that link. Anyways, column setups. So I have 3 different column setups to help me identify why an ad is doing bad. We're on basic overview right now. Basic overview is quite literally just like basic stuff. I don't even have ROAS on here. It's just results, cost per result, CPM, link clicks, cost per link click, CTR, add to cart. That's it. That's it. But let me go ahead and turn my breakdown off. But what if an ad wasn't performing? I want to understand what part of that ad is not performing. So I have 3 different columns for that purpose. Let me go here, view column presets, top of funnel, middle of funnel, back of funnel. So I want to see, is my ad good enough when it comes to hook rate, when it comes to engagement? Is my ad something interesting? That's what I have this for. Top of funnel. Now, of course, there's no 3-second video plays because this is an image ad, not a video ad, but it gives me impressions, outbound clicks, the outbound CTR, and the cost per outbound click. This kind of lets me know, mainly 3-second video plays, how good my ad is, how good my creative is. If these are bad, then I know it's a creative problem. I don't have to worry about the website. If my cost per outbound click is way too high, I know that my ad is terrible. But let's say we go through here and it looks like this and everything is very, very, very good, very, very above average. Okay, let's go to middle of funnel. Landing page and offer alignment. How good is my offer? Compared to the people that are landing on my landing page, how many of them are buying? Landing page views, cost per landing page view compared to the add to carts and the cost per add to cart. Now, as you can see here, my cost per add to cart is insanely good, incredibly good. So it couldn't be the middle of funnel, so it must be back of funnel. And again, these perform great, but I'm pretending that they perform poorly. So back of funnel, and back of funnel is just all buying intent. How many people are converting? Let's bugging out. Let me refresh it. Hold on. Back in here. Back of funnel. Okay. I guess we'll just keep it on campaign view. Back of funnel. Add to carts, checkouts initiated, cost per checkout initiated, and results. And then your ROAS, all that good stuff. This is back of funnel. This is there something wrong with my checkout? Am I charging for shipping? Do people find that unattractive? Now let's say that I notice tons of add to carts, tons of initiate checkouts, but my conversions are not there. Then I know it's not a creative problem. It's not really an offer problem. There's something people are finding unattractive in the checkout. Maybe there's not enough trust. Maybe there's not enough urgency. Maybe they don't feel like they need to buy right now. Maybe you're charging way too much for shipping. Maybe you're charging shipping. People are used to free shipping nowadays. I don't charge shipping on anything ever. That's just a personal thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't ever, but I'm just saying most people don't expect to pay shipping because everybody's doing free shipping nowadays. So I really like having a top of funnel, middle of funnel, and back of funnel column setup to help diagnose poor performing ads. But most of the time it is on this basic overview. And then as far as campaign setup, it's kind of obvious, but some people are still gonna have questions. Very, very simple campaign. I will have all of my ads in each ad set. So each ad set is for one individual ad. These are all meant for ads that graduated this hook test. So I'll have these ads, ignore the dupes for now, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then within each ad set, I will have my ads. Now, this is blurred so you guys can't see, but this is the same ad duplicated 3 times. It's the same exact ad. Because I have found personally, through vigorous split testing, that when you duplicate an ad multiple times, each upload is going to kind of hit a different audience pocket. It's going to perform differently. As you can see, these two here, this one only spent 45 compared to this one spending 107. They both perform well, but this one performed a little bit better. And the reason, who knows? It just got shown to better people, more warmed up customers who are more fitting for my product. And this may have not happened if I didn't duplicate this 3 times, whereas this one didn't spend too much, but ignore that one. So I have found that duplicating your ad inside of the ad set multiple times and allowing the spend to split up is very, very useful. So that's it. Run a hook test, $20, come up with some hooks. The hooks that do the absolute best, graduate them into another campaign. 5 ads, whatever, however many you have that did well. And then I set these, they're $40. You don't have to do $40. You can do 20. I'm just very confident in my creative, so I start at 40 most of the time. Plus, I already knew this hook was going to kill it because it has in the past. I started at 40. You can do 20 if you want to. It's just a bit low for me. And then 3 the same ad inside of each ad set. That's what I'm doing right now. A lot of people on YouTube will talk about, this is my testing strategy, but they won't kind of show it in action. So that's what I'm doing. This is an active test that I'm running right now. It's performing very, very well, especially if you go inside and look at the individual cost per purchases. I mean, this one had a $12.99. This one currently is still on, has a $19.96, which puts me at a little bit over $11 profit per order. The engagement's awesome. And I mean, July 17th within itself was the biggest day. It was the first day we were running it. 7% conversion rate. You're not going to get a 7% conversion rate from not understanding what you're doing. It has to be intentional. So start using the breakdowns, identify where your money's being bled, refer to a couple SOPs like this, and you'll be good. Do it with intent. Stop running ripped creatives and expecting a profit. You have to be smart. That's all. That's the video. Hope you guys have a great night. Peace.